Welcome, everyone, to Fayette County TV, Channel 77, The Stellar Show with myself, Ken Phillibaum, along with store owner here at the Stellar's Collectibles inside of Uniontown Mall, Victor Mullock. And don't let me forget the Duke. So what do we got going on inside of Uniontown Mall, Victor?
Uniontown Mall, keep in mind it's open every day, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7, and on Sundays it's open from 10 to 5. The big announcement from last week that I promised you is here. It's happening. The Stellar Collectibles is hosting another baseball card show, sports cards and memorabilia on June 1st here at the mall. The one thing
it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday,
yep. Correct.
And I also want to advise you that Rooted Ministries, a church, is opening up in the Old American Eagle within the next week and a half. We want to welcome them here. And also I want to thank Rise Wrestling for letting us be in the ring last week. It was probably my favorite personal show, and I did not get sore from all the bumps I took.
You know what?
Hopefully, I did not.
Hopefully at some point we got some extras out there that'll be fun to watch for everybody. But let's get into, we got some bills to pay, and that we'd like to thank Malloy's Paving for assisting with that. 724-277-8037, 724-323-4179. I talked to Jack. He's got a few openings, but he is filling up, folks. So if you got something that needs done, get a hold of him. What do you got for feedback, sir?
For feedback, I got a lot of hatred for the fact that I keep referring to the Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 shirt as the tuxedo in the flea market back in the day. I stand by it.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? Speaking,
you were the best dressed at the Comet Flea Market if you had the old black T-shirt on.
Or the wolf pack. But you know what? Victor has a lot of this wrestling stuff here for sale in the shop. Before we jump into some more feedback, I know memorabilia, action figures, DVDs, and old wrestling programs that I like to just pick up and look through back in the day. So any other feedback before I start throwing in some of mine?
Throw your feedback. All
right. Well, did you, speaking of wrestling, that was a Wrestlemania. Did you watch any of Wrestlemania?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Oh, man. Well, you didn't miss much. The Cody Crybabies got what they wanted. But it was, The Rock slapped him around pretty good the night before, which was fun for the rest of us. But, you know, the big thing was, Cody needs to finish his story. And no one cares about his story. And like I said, there may or may not be a better story in the area that gets finished about this time next year. So stay tuned for that.
When DX ended, that was the end of me for basically wrestling.
So yeah.
Cody Rhodes means less to me than anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not the only one on that. So you know what? Getting a lot of with the Duke here, especially my buddy Sigler of Rise Wrestling. Duke is a long-haired dachshund. And as far as some of that other emails and
so you're not holding your wiener right now.
Oof.
You're making sure that people understand it's not a wiener dog. Is that what you're trying to say?
He's a long-haired dachshund. Why is it got to be like that?
I'm just clarification.
Yeah.
Some people are confused out there.
He's a long-haired dachshund. What's there to be confused about?
Aren't they called wiener dogs, though?
He's a long-haired dachshund, and you're
wiener
part
dog.
of the problem. What else we got before I stick Duke on you?
The Easter Bunny is gone, so
yeah,
I guess I'm next in line.
Yeah, you know what? We'll have some fun towards the end of the show. We both went to opening day. That was a good time.
God, was it cold.
But, yeah, actually, that's about it as far as the feedback. The super fan's still MIA. I don't know what to tell you on that one, which is, unless, you know, it's like a calm before the storm. So that's all I got.
Things are brewing.
Okay, we good? We're be back after this.
Hi, my name is Wesley, and my company's going to be West Tech. Some of the things I'll be making there are like cool gadgets and stuff to make your life funner and easier, like cable holders for the side of your desk. They're not ordinary cable holders. They're going to have cool figures from movies and TV shows like Darth Vader. I'm going to be making them with cool processes like a 3D printer. I'll also be making cool plant holders in different shapes, and they connect to each other so you can stack them any way you want. You can purchase my items at the Young Entrepreneur Showcase on April 27th. Hope to see you there.
Welcome back to the Stellar Show here on Fayette County TV, Channel 77, with myself, Ken Phillibaum, Victor Mullock, and don't let me forget the Duke. We're going to jump into our vintage pack And Mail Day segment sponsored by Yinzer Valley Farms. Get on social media. Check out everything Mike Spitek's got going on over there. There's always something going on. The event calendars, you can find something to do. So that being said, I'm going to pass the Duke off to you. And there's another thing. The Duke is royalty, so how dare these people with that other nonsense I had to listen to in that last segment. So what we got going on here this week is I threw out the
Duke can handle it.
Vintage. We got Rambo. One of my favorite lines ever. You drew first blood.
I like Take a Bath this week in the very beginning.
Yeah, that's good too. That's just a great movie. But anyway, like we talked about in previous episodes, they had TV shows, movies, whatever, they did these. So I was going through, I'm like, oh, we're going to open Rambo this week. So
is that original Rambo or is that?
1985.
Because they tapped out with what, 4 or 5 of them?
Oh, I'm not sure. I quit watching after the second one. The one recent one they did wasn't too bad.
Never. I gave up after the first one.
Okay.
First Blood was enough for me. You know, I have that problem.
Yeah, well, First Blood Part 2, I guess. Well, whatever. Well, here we go. Bottoms up.
Duke doesn't even want to. Yeah, he's kind of coming after you.
They like
Duke,
cardboard.
you don't want to eat that stuff.
Oh.
Mostly with these movie cards back in the day, there's always a sticker.
Yep.
Is there a sticker in there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get that for you guys. Prison Camp. Good movie. Not so good gum. Then again, it is what?
1982?
Almost 40. No, 85.
85 on Rambo?
Saying 85. But anyway.
Was Rambo after Rocky IV or before Rocky IV?
Might have been filmed around the same time. I don't know. I would have just been learning to walk at that time, so. All right, so what we got going on this week?
High school.
It's all blur. So we got some mail this week. Let's just get into it. This is going to be fun.
We never know what he's bringing. This is always a surprise.
You did kind of tease us a few weeks back when I was reading off Al Martin's accolades and accomplishments, or their lack of. So you dropped a name, and I went doing some searching along with my buddy Dan Bird. We come across something that's going to look.
What's up, Dan?
It's going to look great in the Ken Cave. Oh, Dan will be joining us for the Blue-White game Saturday.
Yeah, Stellar Collectibles will not be open on Saturday if you guys are watching this on YouTube. Plus, hit like and subscribe because we are going to the Blue and White game. And one of the things that you brought me last year that was wonderful.
April 13th. Yep.
This is what a buddy will do. Are we allowed to show this? Because this is probably a felony.
No, we're good. They let people on the field.
Ken stole me a blade of grass from the end zone at Penn State.
I removed it. What are you talking about, stole?
Well, okay, removed, stole. But I plan on increasing the collection on Saturday.
So anyway,
premeditated thievery.
So what we got going on here is, in addition to the Ken Cave, you dropped the name Aaron Hernandez.
Oh my!
So what we come across was this here.
Duke, be careful around
this. It's from Murder Auction. So it's an exclusive relic series, authenticated handwriting sample. This here was from a letter written by Aaron Hernandez while he was in prison. So
that is so cool.
I know, right? So this is going to be a nice addition for the Ken Cave. And actually, I think you could make out the word crazy in here, which makes this one.
It really says that.
Yeah. So
he wasn't crazy, by the way.
Well, you know what?
This guy was kind of crazy, speaking of murderers, allegedly.
Allegedly. That man ran for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season, and he was acquitted.
And you have some kind of backdoor channel to him, don't you?
Yeah, we've had some social media exchanges.
Yeah.
He's hit like to whenever I've said God bless him.
This is the newspaper the day OJ. This is the newspaper the day that OJ was acquitted of the murders. But, the fun part of this story is, as Ken mentioned, we went to the Pirates' home opener.
Good time.
And I was kind of alarmed by the way that we got there because...
Well, I drove. What's the problem?
Your car is very reminiscent of a Bronco that someone drove. And that's why I'm wondering, this man cave you have... And the things we might, you wanted to shoot an episode from this man cave?
No, it's already locked in. We got, it's already signed. Yeah, we're going to be filming a few episodes there. Right, Duke?
No, we're not. After this, no, we're not.
You're going to be paying some sponsors some money back. So you know what? We're going to have some more fun here. Let's be respectful to the juice here. So, Victor, go ahead. What do you got here?
One thing I love to do here at the store is I love to give kids who get straight A report cards a 25% discount. I do not tend to have sales in this store, but I love to give the straight A kids something. I came across something on eBay myself, and these are Taylor Swift cards. So the first 4 girls who show up here after the taping of this show that have a straight A report card get a Taylor Swift Pro Set card. So come up and get them. There's 4 of them here.
Well, we're getting destructive, right?
We're getting destructive.
So we did an episode on grading. Oh, I don't remember the number. It's all a blur anymore. We talked about how we're both getting old, and also all the CTE we probably dealt with from the way high school football was played when we were growing up.
When it was really good.
Yeah, right. So anyway,
you want to take this for the man cave before I put it away?
We might talk.
Okay.
It is the Ken cave. So
Sorry.
anyway, with the grading, I had mentioned there was a gentleman I know of. He had a vintage mantle from the 50s. He sent it, came back a 4.5. Had someone else send it from a different state a year and a half later or 2 years later, and it came back a 6. We're going to be taking this challenge on ourselves. Go ahead, Victor.
What happened is Jack Malloy of Malloy's Paving and I, of course, he still has some spots left. We sent in a submission to PSA in February. It just came back last week. Jack bought this card at a card show, paid under $100 for it. It is a Patrick Mahomes Rookies and Stars rookie card, and he thought it was going to get a 10. I thought close to a 10. Worst case scenario, a 9. For some reason, PSA sent this back as a 6.
And honestly, I reviewed this thing on a bad day. The worst this card should have gotten was an 8.
So what you do with cards like this is, as we showed you, I believe it was in probably episode 7 or 8, we showed you how to crack a card.
Go watch them all.
We've got the glasses on, hit like and subscribe, and we're going to go back through this process again. Rick, watch your eyes. And what I'm using right now are the vice grips. Hi, Cade. I know they're channel locks. And we're going to pop this card out of here and hopefully do no damage to it. And what we're going to do is submit this back to PSA. So give me just a second. Plastic is flying literally everywhere right now. And get the screwdriver, sorry. I'm somewhat prepared, but not prepared enough. And you can hear, it sounds like Ken chewing the gum from the cards from the 80s.
Yeah.
It really does.
No, it does.
So now, this card is now free again.
Yeah, that's at least on a bad day an 8. I don't even see any surface issues now that it's out of the case. We'll flip that, maybe, especially with all the lighting we got here right now.
And if you go back to episode 2, we show you how to use the magnifiers and how to use the micrometers to measure the corners and the centering of the card.
Honestly, I personally feel at least a 9 on a bad day an 8. But they did you guys dirty, as they would say on the show.
Yeah, we'll get you a close-up picture of this card, and in probably 6 weeks we'll have the card back, and we'll see how they grade it then. As of right now, this card's free again.
So, you know what? While we got a little bit of time here, another project you're working on, Victor, is these jerseys.
Yes, this is something everybody makes mistakes in their lives, and this is a jersey that a lot of people, whoever owned this, made a lot of mistakes. This is a Deion Sanders. It's almost game issue. It's filthy dirty. There's a lot of stains on it, and there's marks. It looks like this is just underarm stains at this point. I still have the glasses
on. It looks
on.
like someone was rolling around in your backyard in it, which is a shame. That's Mitchell and Ness. That's a nice
It's Mitchell and Ness, and this is the collection.
This is probably a $300 jersey at one point.
So what I'm going to do over the next week or so is I'm going to do everything I can, use all the remedies that I know to bring this thing back to life. You're never going to get the true value of the jersey, but you could maybe at least wear the jersey or get a couple dollars for it. This is one of the ones I'm going to take on is the Deion.
Or even like look if you're going to a signing and you got these guys.
Yeah, if you could get the back
Yeah, I
even.
mean, well, Dion's a little occupied now as the head coach at Colorado.
This is one of the most
Dr. J.
beautiful shirts you'll ever see.
He's probably in Chantilly, I would assume, if he's not.
And this is an ABA jersey. And one of the things, I've got a T-shirt back here that I'm just going to quickly mention is Gus Gerard, guy from Uniontown. He autographed this T-shirt from his ABA days, actually played against Dr. J. So we're going to try to fix the coffee stains. Sometimes this stuff will just easily come out, but there's vinegars and different remedies that are safe for them.
You're spending this kind of money for this stuff, protect it.
Yeah, and never put these in the dryer. This is the one that's heartbreaking. Is the Barry Sanders, and this one is not signed. A lot of people think these are signed. It's a facsimile that's sewn in. And I want you to see all the dirt marks on the bottoms.
Get some bleach.
And
soak it in some bleach, it might help.
We're going to do everything we can to try to bring these back to life and show you. Some of these are just absolutely a blast to look at. Hank Aaron, this is Mitchell and Ness as well.
The home run king after Barry Bonds.
And what this looks like to me is someone had maybe a propane tank and the wick got dinged, and this could be some propane on there. Yeah.
I can just tell you right now, too, this particular one came from a smoker's house.
They smell.
The other ones didn't. This one did. You could just,
And this is another thing. If you're washing these kind of things, you can fix a hat. This is the device that you would use. A lot of times the young kids want to wear their hats where they're flat on the brim. Trying to get this out of here. I should have had this done ahead of time.
Nah, it's better TV.
Watching me frustrated and break this thing. I see a Kenny Pickett moment coming where I throw something. But what you do
It'll at least get completed.
is when you wash the hat, that was awesome. When you wash a hat like this, the hat's integrity falls apart. That's what this is for. You put the hat on this and you let it dry. So if you've ever seen this, that's what this device does.
All right, anything else to add?
No, I'm pretty, we're good?
Absolutely. We'll be back after this.
So Good, the Neil Diamond Experience is a one-of-a-kind cut above the rest production. You will swear you are watching the master himself. So Good, the Neil Diamond Experience is guaranteed to leave you speechless. So Good, the Neil Diamond Experience, May 18th at the State Theater Center for the Arts. Tickets available now.
Hey, it's Victor. Welcome back to the Stellar Show along with Ken and along with Duke. What I want to mention first is a wiffle ball clinic at the YMCA. It is on May 15th through the 18th. Doug DeCenzo, former Chicago Cub and local hero, will be sponsoring a clinic and a tournament for kids. Call the YMCA, and it's $50 for non-members, $40 for members. Sign up. It's going to be a great time, and you probably will see Ken and I there.
Absolutely. And while we're also, another place you're going to see us is on May 2nd to Mount Pleasant High School. You can still get tickets up here at Victor's Shop for the basketball game featuring the Mount Pleasant junior football coaches and principals from the high school against the Pittsburgh Steelers alumni team. Tickets are $8. You can buy them here at Victor's Shop. Also, the filling station in Mount Pleasant restaurant. Get something to eat while you're there. And also, at halftime of that, you can go down on the court and get autographs, which is sponsored by Levin's Furniture. What do we got to close this out?
I was on FanDuel this morning, and this is amazing. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, Tiger Woods today, if you bet $1 for him to win the Masters, he's at 15,000, plus 15,000. That means a $1 bet will get you $150. The worst one is a guy, I don't even know who he is, but he's Jose Maria Ozabal. He is a plus 100,000.
Use that in a sentence, please.
Oh, these balls. Anyway, but his bet, you would win $1,000 if Jose Maria Ozabal wins. That guy.
Fair enough. So, you snuck in your plug there, huh?
I did what I could. It was quick.
Also, folks, 1-800-GAMBLING.
That's so wrong. I bet $1. Why would I need that?
You only hear when they win. You never hear the 1,000 times that they lose. So, hey,
I won 5,000 at Nemacolin last night.
And he gave 10 back.
See?
So anyway.
That's the classic one there.
Hey,
Mom, I'm not gambling.
Yeah. Invoking the fifth. Anyway, so what we do got going on here this weekend, April 13th, Victor and I, along with a few friends, we are going up to Penn State for the blue-white game. We're going to have some fun stuff to splice into the show with that. So check that out next week. But last week, we went down to the home opener. Victor, what were your thoughts?
The one thing is I woke up that morning and watched all the local news, and all they did was talk about this darn Renegade hot dog. Renegade. It's a hot dog with pickles and pierogies on it. The thing the Pirates really let me down on is there were only 2 places in the entire stadium that you could get it, and you had to know which ones they were. So I missed 2 to 3 innings of the game trying to figure out where this hot dog was.
I thought maybe you got arrested. I was like,
well, the one thing that the Pirates were trying to do is get you to download the Pirate app and then order the hot dog off of the app and then pick it up. So if you're going to a Pirate game and it's capacity, download the app, buy the hot dog that way.
I'll tell you what, I did have some good food, but I was a little let down. No more Quaker State. Man, that was a bummer. But that's been a mainstay for years. But I'll tell you what, the other, like, Caliente pizza is still there, so that's good.
And it was very fun to watch a game with snow.
Right? Hey, you know what? One thing, once again, I know I take some heat for this, and I really don't care, but the Pirates are a classy organization. And personally, for someone that was a friend of Steve Russell's for more than 20-plus years, the respect and honoring him before the game with some of the others that had passed on last offseason, that meant a lot to myself and those who knew Steve.
Explain to the fans who he was.
Steve worked at Wilco. And honestly, for a lot of years, my buddy Dan worked 2 blocks from the stadium. So, look, when I went down to these games, I buy those ballpark passes.
It's the only way to go.
If Dan couldn't make it, I at least stopped at the window and talked to Steve for 20, 30 minutes. Steve's been a positive influence on me for a lot of years, and he's greatly missed by everybody that knew him. So, but that being said, the Pirates are looking good, 9-3 at the moment of filming. I know they took one last night. Bednar got rocked in the 9th.
Do you think that the signing of Chapman had something to do with Bednar's arm? You think they saw something that wasn't surgically repairable and they hoped he could fix it?
I'll tell you what I see is just a casual fan. I would be rotating. I would move someone to setup, and I'd move someone to closer.
Well, Holderman's supposed to come back soon.
Okay.
Then that might end up being your 8 with Chapman going to the 9th if Bednar has to have surgery.
Yeah, I mean,
you still have a great bullpen.
Yeah, there's something definitely amiss, but just might have to shuffle the deck a little bit. But they're 9-3, so I'm not complaining.
Right now, O'Neal Cruz is probably looking, if he can continue on this plane right now, you're looking at a potential MVP candidate.
And let's be honest, I stand by it.
He's a good ball player.
If O'Neal Cruz was in the lineup last year and 2 of the 3 arms that went down don't go down, that team was in the playoffs last year. No one's going to convince me otherwise. So
I have one last thing I want to put in, and I think right now with what's coming up in 2 weeks, I think we need to sit down and we want to hear from you on the fans on this. Should we do something of a draft show for the NFL where we give our opinions? We'll let that up to you guys, the fans, to let us know.
Oh, I'm in. Yeah, I mean, like they can't do any worse than what they did 2 years ago.
You're not lying.
Yeah, hey, let's give an all-pro center to the Ravens and draft whatever.
I have a friend who believes the Alabama center who can't snap a ball back and cost them the national championship is the secret that they're holding. That's why they're smoke and mirrors with Herbig right now. Because they're liking the guy from Alabama that
I think
blew the national
you got to
championship
take,
game.
unless they pull off a trade for one of these big receivers that's still floating around out there in the first round, you got to take the best receiver available. You got to give these quarterbacks someone to throw to besides Freiermuth and Pickens.
I'm a guy who believes in the running game. That's what I did in my whole life, and I'm taking the center.
And he's
even if I have to overdraft the guy from West Virginia.
Glad you're saying
AJ. I don't want to hear it from you.
Glad you're saying the running game. These rumors of Najee to Dallas need to disappear.
Only if you bring Kareem Hunt in, then I'll buy Najee the ticket.
So, all right.
I would love to have Kareem Hunt, Cordero Patterson, and Jalen Warren. That's nothing against Najee.
No, I love Najee.
You're going to have to pay him. That's
all
the
right.
problem.
Pay him. He's earned it. So we need to close up shop here. Anything before we do?
Just remember, girls, I got 4 Taylor Swift cards, straight A report cards. I'll see you soon.
Lies Wrestling is next. Thank you.